The Second World War was the most destructive war in history, involving more than 30 countries worldwide. In the words of Winston Churchill, every bond between man and man would perish. 70 to 85 million people were murdered, a number in which I still to this day cannot fathom. In Germany's vision to rebuild the Great Empire, Belgium was one of the first countries to be invaded for Germany to invade France. Belgium fell in only 18 days and France in 6 weeks. Life under the regime was tough to the Belgians. Food, fuel, clothing were strictly rationed by the German authority, making it difficult for the people to survive. Belgium was liberated in 1944 by the British, Canadian, and Americans, and post-war were giving $559 million to repair itself. It was good news, but overall people were still suffering after what Germany did to Belgium. So, as how all people in Europe wash their problems, they wash out with beer. In this time of suffering, in 1944, the government had rose the price of beer from 3 francs to 4 francs per glass. No one was happy. In 1949, November 16, college students in Ghent, Belgium, stormed the medieval castle of Gravenstein to protest the beer increase. The local police were on their way to recapture the castle, so the students lowered the portcullis in preparation. The police, unable to get through, sprayed water cannons at the students, and in retaliation, were throwing fruit at the officers. They were standing the entire afternoon as they were discussing on whether to surrender to the police. A man had climbed out the tower and risen the portcullis. They surrendered. They had gone to court to see what would happen to them, but due to favorable public opinion to their protests, no one was brought between the judge. To this day, every year in Ghent, this event is mentioned. After the whole protest, the students proposed that the policemen should trade in their white helmets for blue cappies, so they wouldn't be confused as postmen or cab drivers. This demand was also not met. Thank you all for watching. I decided to do a video on this topic since I thought it was so interesting that students started a protest over beer price after everything that just happened, the horrors of the Second World War. Like, I think they should be doing something else than protesting over beer. But as you can tell from the length of the video, there wasn't much to talk about. There was very limited information, but in Facebook there was entire news footage about the students in the castle. Also, but it was in Dutch, and I can't speak Dutch, so I'll put that in the description if you want to see that on footage.